Okay, hello guys. I hope you can see me. Let's turn some music on the background. Turn on. Okay. So let me check what was going on here. Still has some issues with the stream on Steam. It's just let me explain without emotion. So sometimes it connects, sometimes it does not. Why? I don't understand. So just have to be lucky to check it to catch it working. It looks like it works now. Okay, it works now, but it worked without. It looks like it works like a direct stream from the game, and not without OBS Studio. OBS Studio shows us that it's unable to connect. Why so? It's really... I think I should contact the support team and to ask about explanations, because really it's very difficult when you can't just set up everything to work correctly. Okay, it looks like it works also on Steam. Oh my god, so yes, streaming. Let me calm down a little bit because I'm a bit nervous about it. So, okay, today we will talk about HK trigger group. It's pretty interesting. That is why I tried to make a separated stream. I still wanted to tell you that I would like to make stream every Saturday, maybe Sunday. I will announce it, and to tell some interesting things about designs we've learned for such a long time. So today we will talk about HK's trigger group. So just check one more time if everything is okay. Yes, I can see that people already can join our stream, and let me check any chat room. I just will write hello. Okay. Anyone will be able to check it later. So let's start today. So it's time to start because I announced for 4 hours and 30 minutes. So already past 4 minutes for technical issues. Not so good, but let me go. So HKs. First of all, let's start and check how many HKs we have. We have 13 models, something like this. You can see all of them here. All of them are pretty interesting. HK design is very good to learn, to study, to check, to understand how it works, and so on. One of the latest model, HK G11, it's a Pearl. If we are talking about designs and complexity. Several models are pretty old and we have to rebuild them, something like HK UMP, HK SL9SD, HK MP5, it's model maybe about 15 years past and this model still works. Yeah. But let me check something fresh. It will be HK33. What is interesting to tell you guys that the HK, what I like they do, that usually this trigger group, everything with a plastic trigger, plastic frame, is interchangeable with most of the models. Not most, but a lot of the models, and it's good, so you don't have to carry. You just can go switch for burst, add in burst mode, just switch a trigger group, and that's it. And it's interesting, it's good. Even in our models, we took trigger pack. Let me check how it works here. Yes, it's called the trigger housing. We just can check it from take it from one model to another, and it's still really interesting that it works and no issues here. So let's continue with the trigger group and its job. We will start from the basics. We'll take this one and we'll check semi-auto, then full auto mode. Then we will go to, this is actually the plan for the stream. Then we will go to the HK MP5 K, which has trigger group with the burst mode. Then we also will compare this trigger group and some differences between HK MP5 and HK 23 machine gun. Also has pretty the same trigger group. And at the end I will show you modified trigger group of PSG1, and we will check some interesting details there. I hope everything is clear. I hope you can hear me. Let me check one more time. Okay. So, how it works, let me start with the trigger group with the semi-auto. We have here a trigger, and we have here a sear, selector lever. I will hide it for now. The hammer also will hide the ejector, and hammer works in such a way, so it's spring loaded. There is a hammer spring. One end is located here on the back of the trigger housing, a trigger pack. I don't know how to name it correctly. So there is a distance here, some kind of lever, and so we have a spring-loaded hammer and the sear catch it. And the main aspect of all semi-auto is how to catch the hammer. First of all, to avoid full auto, and second part, we still have to catch the hammer while pulling the trigger, because everything, it's in World of Guns, it's here, everything can be slowed down to the hell, and in real time just click and shut down, and you still pull the trigger, and everything should work correctly. And when 15 years ago I tried to explore this Explorer and to understand how it works, thanks to HK, very good and very old manuals are pretty detailed, and they explain everything in a pretty detailed manner that is so good for us. Oh, that was a mistake. So it was not clear for me, but let me hide everything here, and you will see that something strange inside the sear. We just will go to slow down, press the fire, and we will simulate the trigger press. What is going on here? So when we press the trigger, sear goes down. And really what is going on here is the sear is on the axis, but as it's lying here, the back of the sear line on the trigger, when we pull the trigger, the sear also rotates, so you may see like it works like this. And what happens, the main trick is exactly after the after the hammer start dropping, when it disengage from the hammer, and you will see when we press it, it's a small issue from World of Guns animation compression. So you may see that the sear goes forward a little bit. It goes forward because it's spring-loaded here, and it goes forward because there is a space for it. It's not a hole here. It's some kind of there is a space for traveling, and that is the trick. And this pretty unique. I first time made it in HK, and I don't remember the same kind of trigger mechanism on any other firearm. Maybe something like this exists, of course, but this one is, when I see it, it reminds me HK first time. And okay, what's going on next? So everything is going. I don't think you want me to explain all is going on here, but hammer hit the firing pin and it starts working here. But we are talking about trigger group. Still, if you want to explain me, you may go and you may write something in chat room on Steam, or you may go to YouTube or Facebook. I can check some comments there. Let me do it. Okay, yes. Привет. Hello. Okay. I will read it. I don't understand what we're talking about. Some guy commenting about guns based on World of Guns vectors. You can check out. Oh, you may write me a link, and I will check your art, and we can talk later a little bit. Yeah, this is the Leaf broadcasting, so you may ask me any questions. I'm explaining. It's not a pre-recorded, so you see there nothing. I still have a lot of technical issues and so on. So I think music should be a little bit less louder, yeah? Okay. So let us come back to our trigger group. Here you may see the job of the sear, and this is the main trick. The matter is that when it goes forward, the surface goes forward, and it's now not connected with the trigger anymore, and it will drop a little bit. Will it? Yes. So now it goes forward and it drops under the tension of this spring. You see now. Yes, it dropped, and you see visually that it's now standing against the hammer notch. That means that when we cock the hammer, first of all, full auto sear will work, and I will explain. We will talk about it later. You see now that it rests on a full auto, and after the full auto will disengage here, our sear is ready, trigger is still pulled, and we are ready to catch the hammer. That's it. The only thing what it does, as it has pretty good tension on the sear and nothing prevents to move it back, it starts moving a little bit, and you see how the job of the trigger group when we release it. And when we release it, we should go everything, we should see how it works, and everything should go in the previous initial stage. So it works like this. We release it and now it goes back. Trigger goes back, sear goes back, and the hammer also will a little bit go back. Yes, you see. So the same position as it was on the start. It's nothing difficult to hear, and when I read it first time, for me it was something new, maybe something strange, but then I saw from weapon to weapon when I checked it, so it was, for me, it was more or less clear how it works. So let us check the full auto, because it also it's the same with all in all other trigger packs, which are interchangeable in each case. So let us switch it. When we switch to full auto, by the way, let's check what we have, what is going on. Let me do it one more time. And we will check it in slow motion and animation control. So I think I should explain a little bit one more time. When we press the trigger in a semi-auto, you see there is some kind of notch here, and there is a limiter. And when we press the trigger, oh, it was so fast. When we press the trigger, maybe it's not so clear here, but this notch should limit it. It's limited here. Okay. So trigger traveling is limited by the safety selector, or just selector. You see it. When we switch to a full auto, our cut here allows us to press the trigger even more. And what it does, we will do it like this. So now we press the trigger even more. It still works there, but as we can rotate it more, it will not catch the hammer. You see what is happening here. We still have here about 1-2 millimeters, and it can't catch the hammer. And in such a way, the full auto sear works. In common trigger pack on HK, it consists of two parts. This one, I don't know, really does it really name auto sear, and this one release lever. So you see how it works. This part catches the hammer like this. So now it has the same spring, but we have two legs here and a roller here. So it catches the hammer, and this lever is just lying and waiting for this surface, this one. So when it fires and then goes back, nothing here is, you see, not intersecting anything, so it goes and waiting for this one. And now it starts going down, and in such a way this auto sear will disengage from the hammer. So it's not everything, it's not so difficult, and it will work till two conditions. First condition, some kind of malfunction, third condition, malfunction, and it will not shot. Second, the magazine will be empty, and we will have no any cartridges. And the third condition, we will release the trigger. So when we release the trigger, it happens what it happens. We can check it. So we simulate it just like now. We are releasing the trigger, and you see now nothing special. Just sear is ready for catching the hammer, and the same trick and the semi-auto. Okay, I think it was not so difficult. It's a common trigger job for HKs. And let's go to the burst mode. Let me check any questions. Okay, best game ever, keep it up. Oh, thank you, we will try. And Steam comments, nobody write anything there. Okay. So, let me go. Where is my World of Guns? Yes, that's it. I will just close some windows I don't need. Okay. I think we will take this HK MP5 with this burst mode implemented there. Maybe cut. Let's check. Will it work for us? I think yes, it should. Yes, it should work. Can I still hide some parts? Okay. That's it. A lot of new parts here, and you may see that the trigger group is much more complicated here. Just to explain, nothing new inside the bolt group. Bolt carrier, rollers, firing pin, everything is the same, but in a trigger group we have a lot of new parts. When we how to explain? So, from the explaining of previous firing modes, you understood that we should catch hammer, and it will stop. It will prevent further firing. So, in burst mode, we should catch it after third shot, and that is why we have here a counting wheel. Which will count 3 times, and then we'll make sear to catch the hammer. Let's try to switch to the burst. Let's go to slow motion, and I think we should explain also what is happening in burst. Because we will start from here, so let's go to slow motion. Let's try. So we are turning selector to the burst mode. What is going on here? This is the click selector catch, and it's just the hook will hold it in a certain position. So what is going on here? First of all, we have here still have here a limiter, and it will not work anymore. And what else? And also. And I don't remember also what is it. And also we have this shifter rod, and it's also in a semi-auto and in a full auto. It's limited by this selector lever. But when we rotate it, the shifter rod now it's resting on a trigger latch pin, we can see that two parts resting here, shifter rod and the stop latch. But when we press the trigger, if selector is in semi-auto and full auto, nothing happens because it will limit traveling. And now there is a large card here, which allows to work it, to make it work. And let's try to press the trigger. You see now what is happening, that this shifter rod can go up, and this shifter rod has a special, there is a notch in a counting wheel, and there is some kind of geometry here to work with, some kind of tooth, maybe I call it. And you may see what it looks like. Now it starts engaging the counter wheel. Here everything is the same with the sear, nothing new. I will show you later what is the difference in burst mode. So counting wheel engage, so these two parts, shifter rod and the stop latch, are engaged. Stop latch just prevents rotating to the initial position, and the shifter rod will rotate, will cause the rotation movement for our counting wheel. The trick is that this, I can't hide parts and animation. The trick is that the shifter rod is sitting here, not on the center of the axis, some kind of eccentric here, and that is why you see such strange movement. It makes such kind of strange movement, and that is because it's not on the center. And this is the trick. So you see that shifter rod work with the counting wheel, then the stop latch will, now it prevent from rotating it back. When the system goes back, the shifter rod will jump to the next tooth. Here everything is the same, nothing new. Second shot the same, the shifter rod rotates the counting wheel second time, then stop latch holding it from rotating back, and the shifter rod goes to the last tooth. And what is going on the next shot is here. The matter is that the counting wheel has a tooth here which is standing against the latch. On the regular trigger, this geometry was solid, and here they added additional part which is rotating here. And what is the trick? That is in a special moment after the counting wheel will disengage this latch, our sear will go up and will catch the hammer. This is the trick. So nothing difficult to understand, and also it allows in very simple manner to manage to have maybe two burst shots as well. So the distance here is regulating how many shots it will have. So you see now the third shot, and we have some kind of limitation of animation compression. That is why it's not exactly pushing. You see it's like in the air, but it will now. Okay, so now you see the sear will drop down and ready to catch the hammer. That's it. Yeah, that's it. And at the end, when we release the trigger, everything goes back. The counting wheel very quickly Why? Because when we release the trigger, the stop latch is disengaging by this latch pin from the counting wheel, and as it's spring loading, you see the spring is very compressed now. It's compressed pretty good, and it's go forward. There is a limiting point here on a trigger housing. I will show you later, just don't want to hide everything, but it can rotate always back, and that is I think it's all for the trigger. Let me go and make and show you these things. For example, eccentric is here. You may see that the axis is here, and the shifter rod is rotating on another axis, somewhere here. So that is why it has some strange movements. And also you may see when we release the trigger how it works, goes back. And let us check the limiting. Yes, now it's, you may see it, transparency in the trigger pack, like this. We will go, and this is the limiter for the counting wheel, so it cannot rotate anymore. Whew, I thought it will be more difficult to explain it, but it's not. Okay. Just to show you what is happening when we go to the full auto, and you see that in full auto and semi-auto, the selector lever still will be limiting the shifter rod. That is why the system will not work. You just to okay, just to show how it works. So it's limiting, and it's going under the counting wheel, and nothing happens. So yes, the stop latch worked, but nothing to do. Nothing is rotating here. You see. So here we still have the same. Okay, let me call it full auto sear mechanism, because it consists here of two parts: the lever and the auto sear. And let us go to the HK machine gun. I can see it here, and it's a bit strange. Why not? Because it's not released, maybe. Let me go here. Yes, maybe because it's not released. Let me check if we have here some kind of comments, any questions. You may still ask some questions on our Discord channel. I'm pretty active there, and I will answer you. Just where are they going? Okay, let's see it. So in HK we have the same. I just will explain you. I took the same trigger pack mechanism, but some difference are existing, because we have here another kind of bolt carrier, and the auto sear here is one part, and it works with a bolt in other manner. You see there is some kind of disconnector hook, and there is auto sear in a release. And another part which is different from the original trigger pack is the spacer, some kind of disc here. So it works the same manner, absolutely the same. So let me show. The only thing, we have here one part instead of two. the only difference. So nothing extraordinary here, but you see, because we have another kind of bolt carrier, it's interesting. We'll release it soon, maybe in a month. It requires some additional changes. I want to add here Picatinny rail, and maybe the guys from the community also asked to make here forward grip. So, and then we will release it, of course. And nothing pretty. Yes, it's also different because the whole system requires a lot of changes. Because just to explain, the plastic trigger housing is stored here in another manner. It's locked here with this welded supports, and that is why it's different. It differs from others. But this internal trigger housing, I took the same exactly from HK MP5. And the only part I've changed, I added a disc here as a spacer, because no lever in this mechanism, and I've changed this, I don't know, it's release something like this. I don't remember exact part name. So let's go to the end. And I still want to show you and explain some kind of interesting changes in trigger group for PSG. It was to talk about it. Just wanna check one more time if I have any comments. Okay, so let's go to PSG now. Where is it? It was better to go to. Now HK, I wanted to made in Germany now. Okay, let's go and find it like this. HK PSG1. That's it, not assembly. With a bigger pointer, it's not so easy to manipulate it. So here we can see a sniper rifle. Sniper rifle, that means we have another conditions. We need stability and precise, accurate working of the mechanism. And that is why, first of all, you may see that this is not exactly rollers, that is semi-rollers, and they are cutted. Why? Just because to avoid rotating and to be able to, it's for stability. The same surface will work always with the same surface on the barrel trunnion. Trunnion, I don't know how to pronounce it correctly. Okay. And what about trigger group? It also has some kind of its details which require to be shown here and explained. First of all, you see that the trigger is balanced here. It looks a bit strange. It's but it's okay. And also, what is the difference? For the sniper rifle, it's very important to avoid high pressure of the spring on the trigger, on the sear and trigger, because you should control it in a very accurate manner. So how did they do this? They do two stage of the hammer and hammer spring job. First of all, you may see, if compare, maybe you don't remember, but you may go to World of Guns and check it one more time. The matter is that the hammer angle another, and in all previous versions it was like this. The angle was more it was rotated to inside, and now it's less. And also you see that there is no such big lever between the axis and the point of the hammer spring tension. And that is why when we press the trigger, let me show. When we press the trigger, hammer goes forward, and then the point of the levering and the lever will increase, and the point of the touching the hammer and the strut will change, and that is why the tension, you see, the tension will much bigger. This is pretty clever because we have very smooth and quick trigger and very small traveling of the trigger with less tension, and we still have enough force to hit the cartridge. This is the first thing which requires such kind of attention, and the second, this small part. We couldn't finish the HK PSG1 for months maybe. I didn't understand what is hell is doing here, but it's pretty simple. It's very important to have these surfaces not damaged and to have the surfaces in a good condition. And this part, what it does, it just, when there is a heat of the hammer, it just avoid any contacts of the sear with the hammer. That's it. And even now you see that the hammer contacting not here, somewhere here. So this is important. Small things, maybe you never paid attention on them, but it's very interesting in vision of design. Okay, I think that's all for today. I hope it was interesting because I've shared some interesting features and explained. Still, if you have any ideas what to explain, what to show you, you may ask in Discord community or in Steam, and just be more active, and I will prepare something interesting for you. I still have some ideas for next stream, so it's okay. We for example can check Beretta burst mode, it's interesting. Also we can check HK VP17 with a stock which allows to make a burst mod, and a lot of interesting things to explain. Thank you for staying with me. Let me check some comments. Будете модель MP5 обновлять? Да, очень хотелось бы ее обновить. Дело в том, что, в принципе, не так уже сложно ее обновить, потому что уже практически все компоненты есть в хорошей детализации. Нужно собрать просто из разных моделей. Но пока просто на это нет времени, потому что, ну, если мы будем заниматься этим, то мы тогда не будем выпускать новую модель. А бюджетов нет на то, чтобы просто параллельно работать еще над одной моделью. Но, кстати, будет скоро обновление и на Steam, и в Патреоне. Так мы собираем дополнительные бюджеты, и, возможно, люди захотят, чтобы мы обновили какую-то модель. So I just explained, our guy asked if we are planning to update HK MP5. I told that yes, we would like to update it, but it's difficult because of the funding. And on the Patreon we have a channel where we already collected some kind of budget for a new model, and I also would suggest users from Patreon to choose maybe if they want to update some kind of some old model to the next level of quality and so on. Okay, thank you for coming, thank you for watching. Anyway, you may check the stream on YouTube, I will remain it and will not delete it. And I hope to see you next week. Bye.